Hello everybody there in the world. I'm sending you my greetings here from Poland, where I am on a certain mission, nothing to do with my target and work. It's actually some bureaucratic issue I need to try to solve, and also visiting my parents. This is my parents' flat and my mom's plants. Today's video will be the last in this series of death and dying and afterlife, very important subjects to understand. And it will be about the animals and what goes on there actually with them once they pass. So it's going to be a mix of conversations. First, it's going to be a conversation that I had with Svaru some time ago, and then it was a conversation that followed a sad thing that happened to me and to my dog. Most of all, about a month ago, I had to put Ringo to sleep, one of my two dogs. He got sick and I had to put him to sleep, and on the same day I had a conversation with Dor Kalil, and I'm going to share with you that conversation because I was very curious about where is he now. It was so fresh. It was just 2 hours after he was put to sleep, so I really wanted to understand where he is, and they were so kind and nice and very patient with me and understanding and explaining everything, and not just Dor Kalel but others as well were asking about how I feel, how Ringo was. So thank you very much, Tagetin team, for your understanding in this situation. I also must let you know that at the moment the communication has stopped. They had decided to, at the moment, pause the contact for their reasons, for whatever reasons they have. They have other tasks they need to be attending to. It's always like this. They come and go. They said they will be back. They are not going away really somewhere back to Temer, to their beaches. They're just going to other tasks, and they will be back. This contact is not cut off forever. It's just a temporary pause in our communication. Worry not, because I have so much more material backed up still from Svaru's conversations and other conversations, and also from Robert's channel. Don't worry, this is going to be this is going to be years, I think, before I'm fully done with all this sharing, all I have. So enjoy this video, this I think important video, because animals are such an important part of our life. So it's very essential, not for me at least, to understand, at least try to understand what happens to them when they are not here anymore. Okay, thank you very much and enjoy the video. And the animals also know that they enter 3D when they enter here? Do they do it consciously, knowing that they will suffer here? Good question. I haven't been an animal for a long time. We can only assume that it is the same, since they are people. If they are people, like you say, then they have to know something. That is correct. You know, all my life I knew that old age and diseases like that are not normal. I never had problems with death, but with suffering of the old age and physical suffering in general. As if I knew that you don't have to live like this, that you can live differently, as if it was a memory. And now that I know you, I understand that yes, it was my subconscious memory, although I know that things happen there too. Yes, here things work differently, even for animals. And a question, how long do cats live there, for example? Again, it is almost impossible to determine that, but they live much longer. And also, with animals, as with everything, time is relative. So, for you, 10 years with your dog, it's a short time. But from his perspective, it is an entire incarnation. Small cycles from your perspective, not theirs. From my perspective, you live small cycles. Everything is relative. Yes, I know, I get it.
here with the help of ships, jumping. It wouldn't surprise me to find out that some cats here are over 1,000 years old. And one thing, what the animals die there from, if diseases are cured? Do they decide to die like you, in their dreams or something? Apart from accidents and things like that? Yes, what happens here is not so much that the body fails and thus progresses towards decay until death, as it happens on Earth. Yes, that exactly always seemed abnormal to me here, as if I refused to accept that this is normal. I always felt that. Now I understand why. Here, the problem is more energetic, an internal fatigue, a boredom with life. The routine ends, not seeing sense in continuing. Many people who know about death, such as Dolores Cannon, will say that you should not do that, give animals euthanasia, because a person, in this case a dog, comes to experience that for growth, and by speeding up his exit, his death, you only interfere with his life plan, even causing him to reincarnate to live it again. Even so, I am not in favor of letting someone suffer like this. In natural life, in the wild, they do not reach that point of deterioration. It is human hand there. I am not in favor of letting animals suffer until death. Me neither. I have not thought of it this way, as Dolores Cannon says. Do you think she could be right? Yes, Kosha, she is right. I do not doubt it. Even so, it doesn't mean that helping him not to suffer is wrong. And it is true that in the wild they do not get there. But the fact is that it is domestic and came to experience being a domestic dog. But it also opens up the possibility that by being domestic, his life plan is precisely that his end be left in the hands of those who love the animal, not his. Good point. This makes perfect sense. The animal knew it was going to be domestic. It means it will have owners, and they will decide things. What Dolores says is perfectly valid, but the opposite does not have to be invalid. Okay, but I will stick to your last conclusion. How is Ringo? In the source. So I hope. Thank you for asking. So it happened. I am terribly sorry, but it was best for him. I just put him to sleep 2 hours ago. Horribly recently. Late at night, it just happened. Yes, I went to the hospital with Robert, and he was really bad. Not walking, barely opening eyes, trembling, making little sounds. Did he still recognize you? I want to believe that part of his soul did on some level. If I would have been in his place, I would have wanted you to set me free. I mean it. Yes, I was there with him holding his head in my hands and trying to tell him telepathically to go as far as possible from 3D while he left. In that state, you no longer care for life. You want and need to go. Yes, I know. Thanks for saying that. Animals don't see death as tragically as humans do, or people in general. All they know is that they suffer, and they want out of it. I am so glad you are saying it. It was the right thing to do. I know. It's still a horrible experience. I know it is. I am no stranger to death. You will carry that all your life, but it is part of what makes who you are. Yes, I feel I strangely absorbed this experience into me. It became part of me, integrated, Svaru would say. It's all strange, this life, death, life, death. Life and death, yes, life and death, you go round and round. But it is still terrible for whom you leave behind. Let him go, but don't fight it if you can't. You will love another dog again. Where do you think he went now? To the source? How do I know he's not trapped in the astral realm somewhere? The whole concept of traps in the astral is false. Svaru was doing her best to convey that message. I know, but she did say many souls stay on the astral plane. Some don't even know they are dead. They move around there. Do animals too? I didn't mean trapped by some archons, but by his own ideas, perhaps? But those are souls who choose to stay in the astral because they are attached to life, mostly victims of violent deaths. But it is in their consciousness, in their minds, not because anything outside of them is preventing them from returning to Source. Ringo clearly wanted to go home. You think? He had no traumas in the last years, no violence, no, just love. I think animals are free of those soul trap concepts. That is human. No one else out here managed that concept. That's why he will go to Source, or is in Source. As love is all you take with you. They are just more people with another shell. That would be so great. We were talking about it with Robert. If astral realms are full of animals too. You know what else I would love to have? Tell me. A technology to locate the dead souls where they are. Like a sort of machine that could track Ringo's signal and find out where he is. I know it doesn't exist, but it would be so nice to have. At the same time, I understand there is no time, and it's not a linear, so it's impossible from the Source perspective. That would be impossible, as he would be everywhere. A soul is not in this realm, so the concept of non-locality applies to them. I do understand, but maybe his signal is already incarnated somewhere else. I don't know. It would be nice to know. There is no time, and it is not linear. So that already happened from your point of view. So if it already happened, it means he is somewhere out there. And in that case, locality applies. Then you need a machine who can track something that may be unique of his essence. Then you come up with a machine that can measure the frequency of a soul because it emits light, called aura. Then you end up with a spectrometer, like the one you know. Then you find out that as time is not linear, he would be alive simultaneously as when he died. The concept of a mirror is born. We can deepen it at some point. Oh wow, let me reread this. Yes, we did touch on mirrors some time ago, but I understood they would look the same. So I guess in case of Ringo, another animal perhaps could be located, but wouldn't look like Ringo, right? There are all kinds of mirrors. There could be two people in one timeline who look exactly the same, yet they are not the same person inside, not the same soul. And we also have cases much more common of people who do not look alike and are the same soul. Some are even male-female. It might be Ringo as he is, perhaps younger, or an entirely different animal, most probably dog, perhaps some rich French lady's poodle. Wow, okay. I have the final question. Do they take the love with them? Does my love enrich his soul? Did it become a part of him in some way? Your love is part of his experience incarnated. Therefore, your love is part of his soul and of what he is. He is made of your love. His receiving our love is part of who he is now? Wow, that's so beautiful. I am so glad. Of course. So, we are all made out of different loves we received throughout incarnations? Love is love, only different because you see it as such from one or another point of attention. But we are all made of love and integration. What if we received suffering? That became part of us too, right? Everything, I suppose. It makes you appreciate love even more during an incarnation. Love and fear are opposites, not love and suffering, not love and hatred. I like that. I understand. And while in Source, does he remember me? Svaru used to say that we do carry memories and our identities. Of course he does remember you, but not in a way like it is in the past. He is with you now, in his present, as it is all there is for him. Concept of past love is yours, from your point, not his. You suffer without him. He does not suffer the same way. He feels he is with you now, and with everyone and with everything he loves. Everything is now for him. Oh, I think I got that. And he is also simultaneously in the source and in some other incarnation. That's another possibility, no? From source, you are all your incarnations at once. You said he is with me now, but from where? Being in the source, right? You are in source as well. You have never left source. The love you have for him is what he is getting as your presence in source, as it does not come from your body. It comes from your divine self in source. He is with you now. It is only the souls who want to be apart from source, have attachments, that deliberately feel separation, being dead. The ones you call the lost souls. That's exactly why, while incarnated, we are fragments of our real, true, complete self, called our higher self. Only from above, and only when we have a point of comparison, like having been alive and then dead, do we notice and feel that we are complete. Okay, trying to feel what you mean. I think I am getting it. Still, my lineal mind kicks in, hence the questions. What a one convoluted system of things, this life. In essence, it feels a lot simpler from here, understanding these concepts. I can imagine. From here, it's so much harder in a way to grasp some concepts. Just soul fragments in their illusory separation, trying to figure one another out, to find the truth out. The idea of being there is not to find out, as you already know. So, as with so many things, it is contrast between knowing and not knowing what you are really after during an incarnation experience. Amazing! I love that. That brings a relief to the troubled mind that tries to comprehend it all, because some concepts, the contrasts, are hard for us to absorb experientially. The concept of being here and in the source at the same time, for example, although understood on the mental level and accepted, still, if not empirically experienced and remembered, happens in dreams, okay, but we don't remember, it's harder to absorb it as full understanding. Yes, but that comes from the idea and point of view of someone incarnated. Then, locality plays a role here, when in fact, Source is all over you. You are immersed in it. Source is the source of everything, hence its name. The concept of non-locality applies to Source. You are Source. Locality from the physical side, and non-locality from the ether side. I know. That's why it's not easy to fathom the idea that I am now with Ringo and him being with me, because my fragment is in Gosha now and has no conscious access to that level where my soul is with Ringo now. You are not with him, but he is with you. Why am I not with him, but he is with me? Because you feel time in a linear way, so you feel like he is not with you, while he is outside time, so he feels he is with you. Your love is source, so as he is also source, they blend. But as time doesn't exist, can we truly say he is outside time now? Just because him as Ringo left the body? He could very well be living somewhere as a fox now, with his focus of attention there. And in that sense, he wouldn't be with me, right? That could be right as well. Generally speaking, that's why there is only one soul per realm. Soul as in fragment of a bigger soul. When there are two bodies in the same realm and one soul, and one of the bodies dies, it will only jump in consciousness to the living one. This is very notorious with identical twins. Okay, extraordinary. Thank you for explaining it all. I really appreciate all of you inquiring about Ringo. It's so nice. Thank you. I don't want to burden you with this too much though, as I know Doc's death is not much comparing to so many other tragedies that could be happening right now and are. I will be okay. I cried a lot there, but now I'm better. Just trying to understand where he is. And death is a death of a loved one. Dog, cat, human, it is all the same. The passing away of a loved one. We understand.